Hello there. I'm NBC5 Chief Meteorologist Rick Mitchell. Severe weather season in North Texas is here. From now through early June, basically anything goes with the weather. Storm systems, they develop, they move in quickly, and it's the time of the year when it's important to stay weather aware. So today we're spending the next half hour on a little refresher with what you need to know, starting with an easy to understand explanation of what it means when there is a severe weather watch versus a severe weather warning.
Leading up to severe weather events, the terms watch and warning are used quite a bit.
And we've just got a tornado watch issued across parts of North Texas.
Not a whole lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. This was just issued just as we were coming on the air.
What do they mean, and what is the difference between the two? Watch means get ready and be prepared. If a watch is issued, it means the weather conditions are just right and severe weather is possible within the given time frame. If a watch is issued for your specific area, watch the weather closely all day so that you are ready to take cover if needed. A warning means the severe weather is happening or just about to happen. Warnings are issued when severe weather has been reported or is picked up on radar. If a warning is issued, you will need to get indoors or to your safe spot immediately. If driving, pull over and get inside a sturdy shelter immediately. Hail, damaging winds, or even a tornado is happening where you are. The watch is all of the ingredients for a cookie. We have butter, we have chocolate chips, flour, and sugar. If these are assembled correctly and under the right conditions, you will have a cookie. When the cookie comes out of the oven, it represents the warning. Just like a potential tornado, the cookie is here. Samantha Davies, NBC5.
North Texans know severe weather can hit anytime and anywhere, but heading into spring, things usually ramp up. That's our severe weather season. When severe storms strike, sometimes you have to get to a safe place quickly. NBC5's meteorologist Adrian Vaughn looks at where you can go inside your home.
Let's talk about where to go when a tornado warning is issued in your area. If you live in a house, you want to head to the lowest level of your home. Basements and underground shelters are ideal, but most people here in North Texas don't have those. So get to an interior room on the ground level of your house away from windows. In my case, it's a bathroom. The same logic applies if you live in an apartment or in a dorm. Head to the lowest level of the complex. Stay away from windows. Interior bathrooms, stairwells, and even a closet are all good options. Severe weather can strike at any time of day, so you'll need to have a plan in place when you're at the office, too. Go quickly but calmly to a central part of the building without any windows, then crouch down and cover your head. You want to stay off the elevators too, because if power is lost, you could be trapped. One of the worst places to be during a tornado is in a mobile or manufactured home. According to the National Weather Service, you are 15 to 20 times more likely to be killed during a tornado in a mobile home than if you were in a permanent structure. So if a tornado threat is in the forecast, know your evacuation route and how quickly you can get to a safer place. You can always download the NBC5 app to get weather alerts. And remember, if a tornado warning is issued for your location, you need to get to your safe zone immediately.
The people living near Canton, southeast of Dallas, have seen their share of destructive storms. Maria Guerrero talked to people about the lessons they learned about staying prepared.
For Stacy Barnett Buck,
I have some water, and then I keep like some phone chargers.
It's a $4,000 investment, protecting her family, providing peace of mind.
It's a fear, but it might also be a safety mechanism, because I'm fixing to get somewhere. I'm fixing to get somewhere. Whether it comes or not, I'm fixing to get somewhere.
Her tornado shelter installed after 7 tornadoes tore through Van Zandt County in 2017, killing 4 and injuring 50, including Stacy and her daughter. And how many times have you used it?
A bunch.
Really?
A bunch.
Painful memories she reminds friends of, hoping they take storms seriously.
I don't want anybody to feel what I felt, having my daughter ripped from my arms, and then to get up and to know if I'm going to find them alive, dead, or find them at all. It's not anything I'd want anybody. I mean, that haunts me today.
After the tornadoes of 2017, everybody is pretty much weather aware.
This survivor's advice, don't panic, but be prepared at a moment's notice.
If you get that little feeling, if that hair on the back of your neck stands up, or you think, maybe we better get somewhere, don't second guess it. Get somewhere.
And NBC5 Response is also helping you prepare. Here's some great information about flood insurance and the steps that you can take to protect yourself if you have to file a claim, from Deanna Zoga.
When more than 9 inches of rain
This is crazy.
fell in just 24 hours in North Texas, Shaniqua Shannon watched as some of it swept into her home.
You could just see like this dark, dirty water. And when I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming in. And it just said, whoop, and it just swooped right on in here through the crack of the door. And I mean, it was coming from every way. It was pretty scary because I didn't think it was going to stop.
Shannon says the water caused thousands of dollars in damage. And though she had homeowners insurance, none of it was covered.
No, nothing, not 1 cent of it was covered.
Standard homeowners and renters insurance policies do not cover flood damage. Consumers would have to purchase separate insurance, typically from the National Flood Insurance Program administered by FEMA. In some places considered high risk, flood insurance may be required by the mortgage lender. But as we've seen, flooding can happen anywhere. On average, around 40% of NFIP flood insurance claims come from outside high-risk flood zones. This FEMA flood map shows Shannon's home in DeSoto, for example, is in a minimal flood hazard area.
At no time will you find anywhere on those maps that this area will not flood. There's always a risk.
Gilbert Guidon, Regional Flood Insurance Liaison with FEMA Region 6, explains consumers without flood insurance can't always fall back on federal disaster help. The president would have to declare disaster, and even then, individual assistance would be limited.
A lot of people are under the misconception that FEMA will come in and make you whole again. Well, FEMA will come in and give you disaster assistance, right? Now, that disaster assistance average for Hurricane Harvey was about $4,400, give or take. The average flood insurance claim was $115,000.
To start the search for flood insurance, consumers can first check with their current provider about buying a flood policy. Then search floodsmart.gov. Doug Heller, Director of Insurance for the Consumer Federation of America, explains the yearly cost for homeowners can start at several $100s.
There are going to be communities which are much higher risk that are going to have higher prices. But that's the ballpark that you might expect in the $600-700 up to $1,400-1,500 range.
Keep in mind, most policies have a 30-day waiting period before kicking in. And currently, the Texas Department of Insurance tells NBC5 Responds it estimates no more than 12% of Texans have flood insurance.
I hear too often from people who bought their homeowner's insurance, paid every month, every year, and thought they were covered when a disaster would strike. But when it's a flood that came through, did the damage to their home, and they ended up with no coverage, having to pay out of pocket, and it's just devastating.
Whether it's flooding, hail, or tornadoes, if you ever have to file a claim, consumers should make the call quickly.
You don't want the insurance company to say that you've delayed and they didn't have an opportunity to inspect the property, and now all these other things have happened to the property, and so we're not going to pay for it.
Ware Wendell, Executive Director of Texas Watch, says document all your communication.
If you're emailing them, texting them, whatever you're doing, however you're communicating with the insurance company, keep a separate written log so you can keep that straight. If they end up denying your claim wrongfully, that's an important record for you to have.
You already know to take photos, video of any damage, save receipts for emergency repairs or other expenses like a hotel. But Wendell explains, save evidence of the damage too. That could be a section of pipe that burst in a freeze or a piece of carpet damaged when rain came in through a hole in the roof. Your insurance company may ask to inspect it. And though some claims can be handled virtually, if an adjuster comes out, ask who they're working for. In some disasters, insurance companies will need to bring in extra help.
If they're an outside adjuster, ask them who is your in-house contact with the insurance company, because that's going to be the decision maker on your claim.
And here's something you could do right now before you'd ever have to file a claim. All you need is your phone and about 30 minutes to take a home inventory. This documents the condition of your home and the contents inside. Walk through your home, open drawers and closets, record videos and snap photos, capture model and serial numbers of valuable items, and save the inventory to the cloud or email yourself for safekeeping. Do this at least once a year, every time you move and whenever you make a big purchase for your home. Deanna Zoga, NBC5 Responds.
So we've covered what to do if you're caught in a storm inside your home, and what to do to protect your house. But what if you need to get to safety when you're outdoors? NBC5 meteorologist Kevin Smith has your back.
I'm NBC5 meteorologist Kevin Smith. Let's take you on a ride to show you what to do outside when severe weather strikes in North Texas. If you think it's okay when a tornado happens to go under an underpass, it's a bad idea. When a tornado is happening, the wind speeds under this underpass will increase dramatically, affecting you with debris and other objects. The best place to go is a ditch by the side of the highway. It provides the best coverage just by kneeling low and covering your head because the highest winds are passing overhead. If you're out in the open field and you hear thunder, lightning is not that far away. Do not stand under a tree. Because of its height, it is a prime target for lightning. That's because when lightning strikes a tree, its ground current can travel 20 feet. During a flash flood, when water is covering the road, you don't know how deep it is. 6 inches of water can knock you off your feet. 12 inches of water can carry most vehicles away. Always turn around, don't drown. If you encounter a flash flood while in your vehicle, the first thing you do is unbuckle your seatbelt. Then try to get your window down. If your window level doesn't work, try to break the window by smashing it. Once you're out of your vehicle, get that phone and dial 911. Hailstorms across North Texas are known to be quite dangerous as well as costly. If you're caught outside and it starts hailing, seek shelter immediately. Please stay away from windows and skylights. If you're driving on the highway, reduce your speed. Maintain triple distance between yourself and other vehicles. Get off the highway by using your flashers. Once you get outside, make sure to dial 911. Please follow these steps if you want to avoid the wrath of North Texas weather. Kevin Smith, NBC5 Weather Experts.
You know how the weather can change really quickly in North Texas. That is why it's always good to have not just one or two, but multiple ways of receiving weather warnings, weather information. The easiest and the least expensive way of doing it is to have the NBC5 free app on your phone. Now, with this NBC DFW app, you can receive our weather alerts. You can program it to alert you when severe weather is approaching your area. You can also see live radar on the phone 24 hours a day. Not only that, you get access to our forecasts, which are updated multiple times through the day. Plus, you can watch us on TV. That's right. Every day that we're on producing live content, you can watch on the NBC DFW app. So if we're in extended severe weather coverage, you can call that up. You can have that information in the palm of your hands. It's like having a TV in your pocket. That's great. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Another thing that you can do with your phone, which I think is equally as important, is to make sure that you have your phone set up to receive emergency alerts. And the way you do that is you go into settings and then go to where it says notifications and then scroll all the way down to the bottom of your notifications, and you're going to see options to turn on the following: Amber Alerts, Emergency Alerts, Public Safety Alerts. All right. You certainly want to have on Emergency Alerts and Public Safety Alerts. That way, if there's a tornado warning and you're in that warning, an alarm is going to sound and it will alert you to the fact that there is bad weather in your area. So you have a couple of features just with your phone and your Android, your Apple phone and your Android. You can download the NBC DFW app and you can turn on the emergency alerts. There's another option. It's a little more old school, but I like it. It is a weather radio. Yeah, these go back decades, all right? This is not new technology, but it is life-saving technology. You can have these radios sit quietly in your house, just waiting for an alert to be sent from the National Weather Service.
Far western North Texas.
Once they send that alert to say that you're in the path of severe weather, this radio will sound an alarm and give you the information. It's relatively inexpensive. These things can be battery operated, so you can take them with you on the road. I think this is a must-have. If you have a smoke detector, which you probably do, I think you should have a weather radio as well. It can save your life. Also, I get asked questions. What about the outdoor sirens? Those are meant to warn me. Well, they are, but they're for outdoor. That's why they're called outdoor warning sirens. They're not designed to wake you up in the middle of the night on the inside, okay? And another thing to consider, those outdoor warning sirens are sounded by different government agencies that might have different rules. In other words, one community may turn them on for a tornado warning. Another community may sound them for lightning or for strong winds or for large hail. So the way I look at outdoor warning sirens, yes, they're good if you can hear them. When you do hear them, that is your sign to go inside and check out what's going on by using the NBC DFW app, the TV, the radio, whatever you get your information. Make sure that those warning sirens, that's the trigger for you to check out and dig deeper as to what is going on. And of course, we're going to give you information right here at NBC5. We are going to be all over it on TV, on the website, on our app. Know that we are working to produce the information that you and your family desire. That's why I always say, stay with NBC5. We'll keep you ahead of the storms. North Texans who've lived through massive storms will tell you it's always best to be prepared and have a plan.
I'm watching a tornado on the ground coming through Sunnyvale, coming into Garland. That's all residential right there. My God, that's all residential.
This is video from a 2015 storm that hit hard in places like Garland and Rowlett. Candace Sweat caught up with the people in those communities.
Memories of the 2015 tornado outbreak are still fresh for those who lived through it.
The sirens were going off, the alerts on the phones were going off.
Ivan Jimenez was at work, his wife Melissa at home in the path of one of the tornadoes.
I grabbed the pets, grabbed the laptop and my purse and went into the bathroom.
The devastation spanned several cities, including Garland, Rowlett, and Sunnyvale.
They are still traumatized by those events. You know, they know, they saw the trees coming down, they saw the glass breaking in their houses.
Garland Mayor Scott LeMay was a council member during the time. He says he's learned a lot since then.
Everybody should be weather aware. Know the timing of the storms, know the predicted track of the storms.
The first thing I learned is to be prepared. We did not have even a flashlight. I made a light out of a Christmas light in a bowl.
Jimenez says the key is reflecting on what happened as they prepare.
And for some, there's a push to help home and business owners learn the benefits of construction that can withstand conditions a little better. NBC5's Larry Collins has the story.
Here in North Texas, we know the dangers of severe weather and tornadoes firsthand. Each year, we report on damage like this, and there's no local county that is immune. The home construction safety specialists call recent weather eye-opening. Many are now pushing those looking to build to consider building structures that may withstand stronger winds. They say it should be at least a wind level of 135 miles per hour. Right now, code for many places is around 100 miles per hour.
Buildings to the code really will not protect you. It may give you time to escape. You may be able to escape, which is really what the code wants to do. But if you want to protect your family and protect your pocketbook, because a home for most of us is the biggest purchase and investment we'll make, you need to be going above the code.
They say these are conversations that consumers should have with contractors. Current homeowners should consider fortifying their homes. Now, if you are looking for an upgrade, start with the roof. If it is older than 25 years old, consider an above-code replacement. And your garage door, it is the most vulnerable part of your home. They recommend a 135 miles per hour wind rating. For those considering fabric windows and door shutters, look for ones that are made of ballistic nylon, similar to car airbags. They are inexpensive and could stand up to wind and debris. It's also thought that these increased standards will increase the value of your home. Some states like Alabama and Louisiana now giving insurance discounts to homeowners who make these upgrades. While there is no price tag for the safety of your family, I had to ask about the cost.
The town of Moore, Oklahoma, which is not too far from where you are, adapted this 135-mile-an-hour standard more than a decade ago, and they found that the cost was maybe $2 extra square foot if it's done from the beginning. If it's a retrofit, it may be higher, it may be double that. It's always better to do things up front and cheaper than to, retrofit later.
Depending on where you live in North Texas, you can also ask about fire or flooding standards. There are changes that could be made to those parts of your home as well. Larry Collins, NBC5.
Severe weather can trigger fear in a lot of North Texans. Storm anxiety can seem difficult to manage in the moment, but there is somewhere to go for help. Bianca Castro explains. So destructive winds, this will be a warning.
Fear over what can happen during severe weather, from property destruction to much worse, is what used to keep Tiffany Beatty and her friend Cassie up at night.
People look at you crazy if you're scared of rain.
I mean, I've witnessed it. I really have.
That's from 2017 when they had just started a Facebook group called DFW Storm Support. Fast forward to now, and the page has become the place to go for its 3,300 members, and it's helped Tiffany face her fears.
It kind of keeps you focused on, helping other people when the storm is like on top of them, and then you're not so hyper focused on what's coming your way.
Storm anxiety is a phobia. There's several different types.
Dr. Deborah Atkinson says storm anxiety is nothing to make light of. In fact, there are several different weather phobias. Lalapsophobia is an abnormal fear of tornadoes and is a type of astrophobia, which is fear of thunderstorms.
It's very understandable why people would develop anxiety about this. The best thing that one can do is to prepare in advance.
And that means having a severe weather safety plan, like knowing the safest place to be in your home.
Make sure you got your flashlight, fresh batteries in it.
This can also help with the physical symptoms of fear and anxiety, like feeling tense and nauseated. She also says a huge help is knowing you're not alone, and others are just a click away, there to ride out the storm with you.
I think it really helps enormously to know in that moment, I'm not the only one that struggles with this.
I was able to overcome my fear was by helping other people, and also just remembering that being prepared and not scared is your best bet when it comes to severe weather.
Bianca Castro, NBC5.
Now, we've given you a lot of good information today, but not everything you hear about the weather is true. Before we go, here's NBC5 meteorologist Grant Johnston with a little bit of fact-checking.
With spring storm season upon us, we're breaking down some common myths associated with severe weather. You could say we're doing some myth busting. The first myth that we address is that thunderstorms and tornadoes always move from west to east. While it's true most storms move in an easterly direction, most tornadoes move to the northeast. However, this is not always the case. It's common for tornadoes to move erratically. A slow-moving tornado can even pivot and reverse direction. Take this 2013 multi-vortex tornado in El Reno, Oklahoma. It caught some of the most experienced storm chasers off guard when it surprisingly changed course, killing well-known tornado researcher Tim Samaras.
Our next myth is that the low pressure within a tornado causes buildings to explode.
This is simply not true. The winds in a tornado are so violent that it won't make a bit of difference. If a strong tornado is coming, opening the windows won't prevent structural damage. Since time is of the essence, you don't want to waste time opening windows. Instead, you need to use that valuable time to get to a safe area away from windows and exterior walls. If you don't have a basement, an interior closet or bathroom is the best place to take shelter and ride it out. Now let's talk about flooding on the roads. A common myth is that larger vehicles like SUVs or trucks are safer to drive through floodwaters. This is not true. It only takes 2 feet of water to float most vehicles, including SUVs and pickups, and if there's a current, a vehicle can be swept away. Finally, let's talk about spring storm season. While severe weather is certainly more likely to occur in the months of March, April, and May in North Texas, it can occur any time of year if the right ingredients are in place. We know from recent years that tornadoes can occur in October, even December. So there's another myth that's busted. Grant Johnston, NBC5.
Thank you for watching our special coverage on how to be prepared for severe storm safety. Good luck and have a safe severe weather season.